China has finally lifted the pandemic restrictions on foreign travel, ending the quarantine requirements for inbound travelers, and with it, nearly 3 years of self-imposed isolation. This comes even as the country battles a surge in COVID cases once again. On Sunday, mainland China also opened its border to Hong Kong, dismantling the last pillars of a zero COVID policy that has shielded people from the virus but also cut them off from the rest of the world. Travelers began streaming into the mainland China by air, land, and sea on Sunday, many eager for long awaited reunions. Long queues formed at Hong Kong's international airport for flights to mainland cities including Beijing, Tianjin, and Xiamen, and some Hong Kong media outlets estimated that thousands of people were traveling across. In the final unraveling of the rules, which had a huge impact on the world's second biggest economy and generated resentment throughout the Chinese society that led to a nationwide protests just before it was eased, Sunday saw inbound travelers to China no longer required to quarantine after almost 3 years of being subject to varying durations of mandatory isolation. Chinese people rushed to plan trips abroad after officials last month announced that quarantine would be dropped, sending inquiries on popular travel websites soaring. But the expected surge in visitors has led more than a dozen countries to impose mandatory COVID tests on travelers from the world's most populous nations as it battles its worst ever outbreak. The outbreak is forecast to worsen as China enters the Lunar New Year holiday this month, during which millions are expected to travel from hard-hit megacities to the countryside to visit vulnerable older relatives. China on Saturday marked the first day of Chunyun, the 40-day period of Lunar New Year travel known pre-pandemic as the world's largest annual migration of people. This Lunar New Year public holiday, which officially runs from 21st January, will be the first since 2020 without domestic travel restrictions. China's Ministry of Transport said on Friday that it expected more than 2 billion passengers to take trips over the next 40 days. Hong Kong's recession-hit economy is desperate to reconnect with its biggest source of growth, and families separated by the boundary are looking forward to reunions over the Lunar New Year. Up to 50,000 Hong Kong residents will be able to cross the border daily at 3 land checkpoints after registering online. Another 10,000 will be allowed to enter by sea, air, or bridges without needing to register in advance, the city's leader John Lee said. More than 280,000 in total had registered to make the journey within a day of the new rules being announced, but Hong Kong travelers will still need to present a negative nucleic acid test result obtained no more than 48 hours before departure.